Hi, I'm Sophie Fisher and today I'm with Snow's Alfa Romeo, where we're going to be taking a look at the latest addition to the Alfa Romeo family and their first ever hybrid, the absolutely stunning Tonale. But the SUV market is flooded with cars, so how does the Tonale shape up? There's only one way to find out. Let's take a look. Visually, the Tonale is very Alfa Romeo. It's sleek and sporty in its design, and some of the standout features include these beautiful headlights, which give it a really unique lighting signature at the front, and they're also matrix LED as well, so they're going to give you amazing vision. At the side here, you've got a choice of wheels depending on the specification that you have, reaching from 18 all the way up to 20 inches, and these are the 19-inch wheel on the Veloce trim level. One of my personal favourite features on the Tonale is this little addition here. There's an Italian flag on the wing mirror, which might seem like a small touch, but I think it's really beautiful. What else is really beautiful is this design line that runs all the way from the front along to the back of the car. At the back, one of the first things that catches your eye is this beautiful light bar, which helps give the Tonale a really distinctive feel out on the road and helps differentiate it from all of the other cars out there, which can look pretty similar. Inside, the boot capacity is 500 litres, so there's plenty of space for anything you might want to take around with you, including additional underfloor storage, which is really useful. So all good news at the boot, but what about the inside? Well, let's take a look at the cabin. Well, inside doesn't disappoint either. It's a really comfortable and spacious place to be, and one of the first things you notice is how stunning the interior is. There's lots of different materials that have been used and everything's really sleek and stylish. One of my personal favourite things is the steering wheel, which looks beautiful, and it also houses the start button here as well. You've got the paddles here to change gear if you want to go into manual mode, which is one of my personal favourite things to do. There's also a really brilliant driver's display, which is obviously digital, but it's got really nice nods to the Alfa Romeo heritage, so that's one of my favourite things as well. There's a 10.25-inch touchscreen which houses everything you'd expect. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are compatible with the touchscreen, as well as Alexa, which you can use in your car, which is incredible. And what that allows you to do is you can do things like turn your heating on if you've obviously got an app to do that at home, and change your light settings at home as well while you're out in the car. So it doesn't just look great, there's lots of really great, clever functionality inside the Tonale as well. So you've also got, the same as on the wing mirror, a little Italian flag just down here in the centre console, which is a really nice touch visually. And you've got loads and loads of storage, as you'd expect. You've got it in the door bins, you've got it down here, you've got a wireless charging area, cup holders, and some more in here as well. So plenty of storage in the front. As with the rest of the interior, the seats are beautifully designed using mixed materials and have almost got this perforated effect on them with slightly different colours as well. So in this specification you can see we've got red piping, there's the Alfa Romeo logo stitched into the headrest, which is a really nice touch, and they just look really smart. So that's the cabin, beautiful, spacious and super stylish, but what's the driving experience like? There's only one way to find out. Let's hit the road. As I mentioned earlier, the Tonale is a really comfortable and super stylish place to be, but it has plenty of substance as well. Alfa Romeo are, rightly so, very proud of a lot of the semi-autonomous systems that they have across the range. And in the Tonale, they really do make your day-to-day driving experience and longer journeys a real piece of cake. There's lots of functionality. You've got things like blind spot monitoring, emergency braking, and lane assist. But one of my favourite features of this system is something called the intelligent speed control, which is basically radar cruise control, which is always a really handy thing to have. But what's great with it is you can actually program it so it works to recognise the traffic signs, and it will automatically adjust your speed to whatever the speed limit is in the area you're in by using that technology. There's no doubt about it, there's plenty of SUVs on the market to choose from, but what I love about the Tonale is it doesn't just look absolutely stunning. It really does turn heads, by the way, when we've been driving around today. You can see people kind of trying to look, going, what's that? It looks pretty cool, and it does. But it's also got that real level of substance to it as well. The driving experience is fantastic. You can also personalise your driving experience by using this little button down here, which is called the DNA selector. So at the moment we're in N. If you go into D, that'll give you a bit more of a dynamic feel to your driving, so it will sharpen up the throttle response and stiffen the dampers as well. And if you want to, you can also change your damper settings just by pressing, really simple to do, the button in the middle of the DNA selector. I personally like to drive in dynamic all the time, just because it gives the car that bit more of a responsiveness to it, and it's just a really great driving experience. Now, talking about driving experience, the engine is a 1.5 litre petrol engine. It produces 158 brake horsepower, and it's a mild hybrid, which means you get the benefits of having electrification without having to worry about doing anything. However, there is a highly anticipated plug-in Tonale coming very soon, and that is going to have, wait for it, it's going to have 271 brake horsepower, and I frankly cannot wait to get my hands on that. I think that's going to be a really brilliant addition to the Tonale range. But the 1.5 litre that we're driving at the moment gives you plenty of power for what you need for day-to-day driving, especially if you use that dynamic mode on the DNA selector. The Tonale comes as standard with a 7-speed automatic gearbox, which is pretty responsive. And there's more great news as well when you're out and about on the roads. Now, let's face it, the British roads at the moment are a little bit hit and miss. There's a lot of potholes everywhere. They can be quite unforgiving, but the Tonale copes with them with ease. Another thing which I really love as well is the steering. Sometimes it can be quite heavy in SUVs. In the Tonale, it's very light, almost like you're driving around in a city car in some ways. So it's not too light, but it's really nice and responsive, and it's a good balance. But it isn't just all great news when you're driving the Tonale. When you're away from the car, there's also more good news, because you've got an app which is called the Alfa Connect App. And what the app does is it gives you additional functionality that you can use when you're not driving. So you can do things like remotely start the car, remotely lock the car. And another thing which is really handy is if you happen to park in a really big car park, or you're at an event and you can't find the car, you can use the vehicle finder function on that as well. The Tonale isn't just a stylish and functional SUV, it is very much a driver's car. The DNA selector, and also being able to use these paddles to go into manual mode using that 7-speed automatic gearbox, really do make it much more of a driver's car than most of the boring SUVs out there. This is the complete opposite. This is fun, it's sporty, it's sexy, and it is sleek, and I absolutely love it. The Tonale really does herald a new era for Alfa Romeo, and I must say I think they've done a fantastic job on the car. It doesn't just look great, and trust me, it's a real head turner. It's got loads of brilliant technology and really useful safety features as well. And don't forget, you can even use Alexa in your car. I mean, how good is that? So to find out more or to arrange a test drive, pop on down to your local Snows Alfa Romeo in Southampton.